So it's commonly joked about that rappers sell their souls or go into big 360 deals where they lose their authenticity or their manhood or their dignity. You see it whenever a rapper pops out with painted nails or a skirt or something that's kind of off the walls for them. Old heads are like, oh, he sold his soul. Oh, he's in a crazy deal. And it comes from people not understanding how music deals work and how labels work and what they actually influence. A lot of the discourse around music labels and how people sign to them and what they do after signing to them is bordering on conspiracy and like hearsay. And I don't really blame these people for being so conspiratorial and very off the walls with their thinking, because a lot of it is hidden behind closed doors and we can't really ever see what's going on. So for example, in SoFaygo's case, he signed to a deal when Biden first got in office, and it's been like 3 or 4 years now. You know what I'm saying? Trump made the Fourth Reich and he still hasn't dropped a new album. Okay, I'm lying, but like his music just sounds different now. It's just not the same stuff, and we don't know who's really influencing things. You can say Travis Scott's in his ear, you know what I'm saying, changing his underground style to be more basic and melodic and monotonous. But very seldomly do we see a rapper be open and honest about their deal while they're in it. But Lil Tony bucked that trend. He's kind of a Christian, like, it's a very weird, like almost like that Nino Pay type of thing. It's like really only him and Nino Pay do it. Christian influence, gospel influence, trap, but like conscious trap, you know? Like he'll drop a song and you see the comments are like, God spoke through this man. Yeah, good to see youngins talking about the faith. And you know what I mean? Like, and naturally by juxtaposition and like comparison to the other people in that sphere of the underground, you know, burning crosses like Shay was, upside down crosses, obviously very satanic influenced things. When you're a Christian, you're gonna have that like, oh, he's different. Like it's almost like a marketing gimmick without having to actually be a gimmick. And the thing they have going for them, Nino Pade and Lil Tony, is they're not dumb people. Like, they seem very actually intelligent, so they could explain certain things. They're not like trolling. They seem very dedicated to their faith and capable of motivating and like teaching people. But recently, Lil Tony went on a podcast, I think it was a Christian podcast, and explained his story of what he was doing within the industry and certain, you know, conspiracies and concepts you've heard before, like lizard face changing aliens and shit. But I'm gonna play the clip and I want you to just have your own opinion before I say anything about it.
You had an encounter with the devil?
Yeah, I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. Like, they got 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? Like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. Like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, no, we do demonic rituals. I say, so what type of demonic rituals? He say, the Illuminati never taught you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at them. Why y'all playing with me? How y'all getting this money? They're like, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? He giving me a list of people who all did. I'm gonna keep it PG-13. He was basically saying, either you let them peg you or you do oral and you'll get whatever you want. Tell them what you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. Yeah. All you gotta let them do is do what they want to do to you before night. That's what he was telling me. I'm like, hell no, I'm playing. So I'm still not trying to believe this. Now, while they doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. I don't got no service. The people who booked me left after they leave. I'm in the car with the other dude that they called up to have a photo shoot with me. I get in the car with him in the 3-seater McLaren. See, on the way up, we go all the way up in the swivel, like, all the way around the mountain.
Yeah.
On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. I'm like, what the hell? So then that's what I try him. I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's. He said, we're not gonna take you to get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. It's face change game in front of me. You see Venom? Kind of like that. His face is probably about this wide. Face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. Like, it threw me all the way off. I didn't know how to get out of the car. I would have been got out of the car. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you gotta push to get up out of there. Gotcha. Now he backing into somebody's driveway. He smack a mailbox. Now he hit the button and he get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. Guess what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I slap run up to him. I'm like, hey bro, I'm getting back your truck. He looking at me like, oh, yeah, no. I look at him. I'm like, bro, just let me get in the back of your truck. Bro. Like, please just take me down to the bottom. Please just take me down to the bottom. It was God. He took me down to the bottom. And I called an Uber and I just left. And the people on the camera, you ain't gotta believe me. I don't care. I'm not lying. I really saw this.
I believe it.
That's what like made me know that the devil and God was real.
You saw the darkness.
I seen it.
And now you're in the light with Jesus.
This is why I have to use my influence for good. Like how you doing.
If you know anything about Hollywood or like high level corruption, even for example, we can use Epstein. He got away from doing serious time and from being seriously punished by his connections to highly powerful people and intelligence agencies. For example, he was a part of a Ponzi scheme early on in his life, and that resulted in people around him being imprisoned, but he's able to somehow dodge charges. And he even mentioned Leonardo DiCaprio in the story. Dude who throws away his girlfriends at the age of 25, right? Pretty weird dude. But at the same time, I just don't believe this. Like, I just don't think that a lizard revealed themselves in a car. That's just too like bizarre to me. Like, yes, I know people are very weird. Rich people are very secluded and very weird, and they keep things by word of mouth. They skirt serious punishment all the time. But if you really believe they're making people do gay stuff, and making them do lizard transformations instead of, more conventional ways of, dodging punishment, like abuse, trafficking, right? And there's no doubt in my mind they obviously try to do, you know, weird things with consent and, you know, trafficking. But at the same time, if you think the devil is somehow sitting back with his master plan of, you know, making your favorite rapper gay instead of, you know, taking over the world, or like, you know, taking land, right? Like imagine Lil Tony's brought to the devil's office, you know, somewhere in fucking Indiana, of course, right? Gary, Indiana. And Lil Tony's mad confused, right? They bring him in, they roll him in, they have a bag over his head, take the bag over his head, right? And then they ask him like, hey, Lil Tony, do you ever want to be big in this rap game? And he's like, yeah, man, I've been rapping since I was like 12 years old. And the devil's like sitting there, you know, he's like fucking twiddling his fingers and rubbing his goatee. He's like, how do I make sure this guy's loyal to me? I can brand him. I could, you know, take his blood, take his hair. He's like, ah, man, make him bounce that ass, make him gay, make him paint his nails. But like, obviously, like, I think that's like a very goofy way of viewing things. I think a lot of religious paranoia and religious, like, you know, abstinence to these like weirder things. Like, for example, when someone wears a skirt, it's considered so weird from a fan's perspective who's maybe more religious or more traditionally masculine, because it's like, why would you ever do that? Why would a man ever do that? But people express their masculinity and express their themselves a different way, especially when they're in a more safe place, when they're a rich person in LA as compared to a broke nigga in Atlanta. You're going to be able to try more things with yourself. You're going to be more like free, more financially free and more mentally free. So I cannot confirm or deny what Lil Tony may have saw or what happened, but I'm going to be honest with you, when you're moving in these places you're not used to, when you have this homesickness being out in LA, when you're not from there and you're seeing people who are different than you, that puts a level of paranoia inside of you that you can't really ignore. It's just going to make you more biased. Your mind and your subconscious gets scared before you even know you're scared. If you're going down a street you haven't been to at night, you're going to be naturally more heightened. You're not going to be more calm as you normally are, even though there might not even be a real threat there. So no, the devil isn't making your favorite rapper get in a room, twerk, and be gay. He is probably going through a lot of things in his young life. It's like a quarter life crisis for a lot of these guys, right? In a highly capitalistic game, which you could argue is satanic. You know, the levels of greed and the levels of ownership that these older people and these major labels want over these young men, I would argue is satanic, more than like the cartoonization, the cartoony, like transformations. The real satanic stuff that's going on is the labels' greed and ownership over the artists and taking away what we want. They can't drop songs sometimes because the label is commanding what they can and can't drop. But in the music industry and with the names, you know, at the higher levels, like, you know, Rock Nation and stuff like that, it's very murky. It's similar to how a lot of business deals go on, because it is a business. So people skirt crimes, people take things down, things get hidden. So of course there's a lot of hearsay and conspiratorial agreements or arguments being made. But the concept of someone being made gay by the industry, I know obviously there's sexual favors, you know, you saw with Diddy, that's a very common thing, but I'm more talking about trafficking. That's more about trafficking. Niggas aren't being forced to be gay, they just are gay, and they have more financial capital to experiment with themselves. Like, I seen niggas when Lil Nas came out, like, oh, they make everybody gay. That nigga likes dick, bro. He likes dick seriously. Like, he was a Nicki Minaj or like Ariana Grande fan page. He liked dick before he stepped anywhere near a record label office, right? But yeah, like, sub, all that. I got hella videos to make. Thank you.